All right, set the clock at 30 minutes. DetroitGolfLessons.com. How's everybody doing today? I am Willie Pewitt, the host of Conversations on the Fairway. And before we get started with anything, we want to tell everybody happy MLK Day. This holiday means different things to different people. So I'm going to give you what my take is on MLK Day. My thoughts are to have reflection, okay, about things that are happening in the world right now, things that you may be thinking about that you want to do, also the strides that has been made through society for other people. I mean, you know, just whatever your personal thoughts are, I mean, that's cool, but just take this time to reflect, okay? And it's just a wonderful time right now to, you know, hey, just think about others at this moment right now, okay? So I'm just going to mention a little bit about this. I'm really not going to go too deep into it, but I'm going to say that, just make a small little comment. Of course, what people are talking about, what happened last week at the Capitol building, it really leads me into what my topic is right now. And this week, my topic is get serious about your vision. Now, I'm going to take get serious about your vision on what you want to do, where you want to go, where you want to be at, because in my personal journey on what I've been doing through golf and my other businesses, I have noticed over time that whatever you say is going to happen is going to happen. Okay, you just have to believe it enough and be strong with it enough for it to happen. So let's just say, for example, right, a year ago, this is how it happens for me. I said something a year ago that I'm living right now. Okay, I'm just going to give you an example. Okay, literally almost a year ago, I'm speaking to a friend of mine, okay? And I spoke to her and I put a post on Facebook, and this is the question that I asked my friends on Facebook. If I were to have a podcast, what would you like me to talk about? Okay? If I can show you the thread that people sent me, it was absolutely amazing on what people said to me that they would like to see me talk about. They would like to, some people like to come out to the show to talk about their experiences. Well, shortly after that, a friend of mine sent me a message and said, hey, you should come on to where I'm doing my podcast at, which I was really never thinking about it. Come on to the podcast. I really liked it. And just by stepping out there and saying and asking a question, right now you see right back here, Conversations on the Fairways, okay? So I just want to tell you that right now it's serious, okay? Right now we need to really home in exactly not only what you want to do, start making strides to it. And I was just talking to someone, and I had said to them, a lot of people, what's the first comment that people say when they say, hey, I want to start something? What's the first thing that comes up? I don't have the money. Okay? I just said this to someone. Money is not your problem. Okay? Most people, okay, if the money came right now to certain people that are working on something, are you ready for that money to come? This is a great question. And a lot of people are not ready for it right now. And the reason they're not ready for it right now because they have not did their due diligence to write down exactly what their vision is. Doing the research, finding out, okay, let's say, for example, you want to do what I do as a golf instructor, okay? You have to start going step by step by step. Did you set up your business? Do you have a sole proprietorship, a LLC? You know what I'm saying? Are you doing the leg work now that if someone walked up to you and said, you said it in a conversation, and you walked up to you and said, I tell you what, I'll write you a check for what you need right now. Are you ready right now? That's the question right now, okay? It's time to get serious about this vision that you have right now. So I'm going to put a little twist on this right here, okay? I'm going to take what you saw just a little bit now. Just come with me along with this for a minute, okay? Take what happened at the Capitol and apply to what I just said. It's time for you to get serious about your vision. I'm not saying all the bad stuff and the negative stuff to happen. What I'm saying is this right here. Those people had a vision on what they wanted to do, not saying everything they did was correct. Their way of how they went about it may not have been correct, but let's look at the bare basics of this right here, right? They were serious about their vision, and they went after and did what they wanted to do. Okay, so I'm not saying take that avenue. What I'm saying is that if you have your vision, you write it down, you do the due diligence to walk this out, and then bam, you start to execute it. The problem is that most people will talk about what they want to do. 2 years you talked about doing this. 3 years ago you talked about doing this, but the problem is you're not executing anything. Okay? So we need to stop that. Okay? 2021 is here now. Okay? There are a lot of things that are going to happen in 2021, okay? Get yourself in position to take advantage of some resources that are out here right now, okay? Get your ducks in a row, get things set up for you to go out there. Like I said, we are in some very, I'm not going to say strange times right now. There's a lot of, cloudiness out there right now, but if you are serious about what you wanted to do, or if you're doing it, let's say you have your ducks in a row, you have your LLC, you have your bank account, you have your vision, you've been executing it, okay? Now there are a couple of situations that have opened up that you will be able to finance that now, okay? Say you've been doing your business part-time or whatever. There are resources out there right this second that you can apply for and you can get right now, okay? This whole thing of getting serious about your vision came up from a lesson that I was doing, okay? To me in my life, you know, to me life and golf run parallel, okay? You'll have some ups, you'll have some downs, but I was giving a lesson to this gentleman that he's a business owner, okay? I believe he delivers packages for one of the major companies, and he was explaining to me how he wanted to expand his business. Now, he's been talking about it, he tells me, for the last 2 years. Okay, so I guess when he first started, he had 2 trucks and 2 guys working for him, and then he expanded from 2 to 3 to 5. I believe he's up to 10 right now. But his ultimate vision and dream is to have 30. Okay, so he wants to make a jump from 10 to 20 to 30. Okay, so while we're in our lesson, okay, and I have a way of how I teach, is that if it's an hour lesson, I will teach for the first 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, I have a method to how I teach. So I will give the lesson for 20 to 25 minutes, and then I'll give about 10 or 15 minutes where I'm not really teaching, but I'm just like looking to see if the student is really getting what I'm saying, okay? And then all of a sudden, I'll just start to conversate about other things, because, you know, you come to a lesson, you know, you may come to a lesson and you may be nervous about being there. So, you know, about the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'm really kind of relaxing you, kind of calming you down a little bit, just letting you know that I'm not better than you, I'm on the same level as you, okay? It's just, this is just what I do every day. So I start off, we're on the same level, and then we start building from that point. So anyway, as the conversation is going on and he's starting to get what I'm teaching, I noticed when I didn't say anything for 10 or 15 minutes, he opened up a little bit and started telling me about his business. So I said to him, okay, I like everything that you're saying, but how are you going to execute this? Okay? And he told me the one thing that was holding him a little bit back was finances. Okay? He didn't have enough money to purchase, I believe he said another 5 to 7 trucks. So we got to conversating about the government programs and the things that, you know, that are out there right now for businesses to, you know, help you. Now, his particular business is not suffering right now because of the pandemic. His business actually increased 25 to 30%. Those are his words. So what I'm saying is that his problem, he's saying that he can't get enough people to fill these positions. And at the same time, he's looking to increase his business at the same time. So we had this wonderful conversation. I shared some information with him. Now, I said that was the first week. Now I believe we're into the 4th week of me teaching him, and he has stepped out there and did that. So in this particular case, he just needed a little motivation. Okay, he just needed a little motivation and some information that he didn't even know. Okay, so I was able to help him, and the only reason that came about is because I stepped out and asked him about what he does, and then he opened up. But his vision was there, but he needed someone just to kind of help him along and push him a little bit to go where he wanted to go. Okay, so listen, this is the time to do it. Okay? This is the time right now to get yourself in position to go right ahead and go ahead and get to the next level. Okay? So I don't know really what's really holding you back. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want you to say it's money, especially when you don't have a business plan. Okay? Somebody, talk to me. Okay? Don't say, well, you know, hey, I don't have the money to do it. And then I ask you, well, did you write it down? Did you actually, you know, there are a lot of people that are out of work, that have a vision, and this is the time to do the research. Okay? Getting on your phone and just Googling stuff. Okay? So, you know, I don't understand this, you know, that this time you're just sitting around and watching Netflix. And no, this is the time to grind right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the time to do it. Okay? Now, that conversation I was having with that gentleman, the second half of this conversation is that he wants, this is his vision, that this is what he told me, okay? And I wrote this down. This is what he said to me. He said that he has the vision that he took a picture, took a picture with him and his wife, okay? And he said, now these are his words, he said that he wants his children's children to be able to look at that picture and say, these are the two people that changed our family. These two, this your great grandfather, he's talking about him and his wife in this picture. This is the vision that he sees. Okay? So when he said that, you think he was serious about his, man, that it was almost as if someone hooked up some cables to me and boom, I'm already kind of hyped already. He even put some energy into me to think, wow, and I'm big, I dream big. Big, big, big. I can tell you some things that might scare you, how big I dream. But this gentleman, almost as if it was an electrical current that went through me to say, you know what? That connection right there is exactly what I needed. Not that I'm lacking in any area, but I'm just saying that push, that made me want to push even harder for the things that I want because they are out there. Okay? Only thing you have to do is get up, and I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? Stop all the silliness. Stop all the wasted idle time. Okay? Just stop doing all that stuff. You know, I have some people that tell me, hey, I want my own beauty supply. Okay, what are you doing to get it? What are you doing to write your vision down and say, hey, this is how we're going to go about it? You're not going to have every answer. You're not going to have every answer to every question or every situation that comes up. Okay? Are you talking to other people? Matter of fact, are you visiting other beauty supplies to see what they're doing right and what they're not, what they're doing wrong? Okay? When you work for other people, you will see, like, you know what, hey, I like these 10 things that they do. I believe that they're solid. But man, there are these other 20 things that they do. I don't know about those 20 right there. I would do it different. And that's what make a lot of people want to own their own businesses, okay? And another thing, you have to be honest with yourself and say, you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself, okay? That it's not possible for you to do it by yourself, okay? And you have to be real with yourself, okay? Now, I'm going to say this to you as well. This weekend, I was sitting, relaxing, watching the football game, and I saw this commercial that blew me away. Now, I don't know if this is their company's um, what do you call it? Their their uh, their vision, or I don't know if this is their statement that they're standing on. But I'm gonna tell you what, whoever, if this is the company's stance right here, this company is gonna be around for a long time. Okay. Now I'm going to say to you, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I'm just going to use myself in the first part, and then I'm going to read the rest of what I heard in this in this commercial that I thought that was so profound that I have to say it to you. So I'm just going to say my name in the first part of it, and then I'm going to say the rest of the statement to you. It says, I'm going to say the WP Golf Academy does not resist, deny, or ignore change. I'm going to repeat that to you again. The WP Golf Academy does not resist, deny, or ignore change. That statement right there tells me right there where they stand at. That tells me that they are a company that is willing and are looking at things to adapt to what's going on in their market. So basically what I'm saying to you is this right here. There are a lot of companies that are not going to be here a year from now. Okay? And the reason, I mean, these are like companies that are thriving right now. The reason they're not going to be here for a year right now, because of this statement right here. They do not resist, or I'm sorry, they do resist, deny, and they ignore change. Okay? Things adjust and change in business. And if I can give you one piece of advice as a business owner or a future business owner, is this right here. Do not pigeonhole yourself and say, this is the way we're doing it, and this is the way we always done it. This is the way my father did it before me, and before me. That right there, that statement right there, you might as well close the doors right now. Okay? Because if you don't adapt to your market, you won't be there no more. Okay? I thought that if you listen to the full commercial, it will go right past you. Okay? But I'm in tune right now for really what's going on. And this business statement that's right here, okay, this is killer. This is what I call a game changer. This right here will change your entire game right there. If your company's everyday thinking is, we do not resist, deny, or ignore change, period. Okay? So I'm like, wow. I mean, so that means that if you start off really, really big and you're paying attention to the market, if you're paying attention to what people are telling you, and you have to go from, let's just use this as an example, from 10,000 employees down to 8,000, not to say lay people off so you can get more money, no, because the market is adapting. But if you were to take it from 10,000 to 8,000 people, but I can use those other 2,000 people in a different way, see, now you're being creative. So between this statement and you always think about being creative, okay? I'm not looking to scale down my employees so I can make more money. I'm looking to scale down my employees so we can be more effective and take the employees that I scaled down and put them in another position so we can still build and keep going on. So that statement right there, oh my God, gee, listen to me. That statement right there tells me that they're willing to adapt. And there were a lot of other companies that were not willing to adapt, that they were on the brink of closing. Okay, they were on the brink of actually shutting down because they were resisting, they were denying, they were ignoring the market. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful with that. Just switching gears a little bit, I don't know, this weekend I had a little time. I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to watch the Tiger Woods documentary. If you haven't, take a look at it, okay? I forgot what it's on. It's one of the cable channels. I don't know which one. I forgot what it is. But just look it up. You know what I'm saying? This man came into golf. His father pretty much taught him as a kid. And then as he starts to go along and start to get bigger and start to get, famous, he broke a lot of records as an amateur. Then he got into professional. I mean, he was doing all kinds of things. But the one thing I'm going to kind of correlate this to, I teach a lot of really great junior golfers, okay? And I'm going to say the one thing as a parent, that if you have a athlete, no matter what sport it is, if you have an athlete that is really, really good in them, I like to have a well-rounded athlete. What do you mean by that? I know you have to spend the time to dedicate yourself to your craft. No problems with that. But also, you have to have them as a well-rounded person, okay? In my experience, when I deal with someone that is really good and really smart in whatever field it is, I always notice they're a little quirky. They're a little, they're just a little not off, but they're really into their element of what they're doing, okay? But they're lacking in certain areas, So basically what I took out of it is that the first half of the documentary, there's two parts that he didn't really have a lot of social life, okay? So not a lot of social life, and he really didn't know how to handle certain things, okay? Between the ropes of him playing golf, absolutely A1, okay? But outside the ropes, he was a little off. So I'm going to say, let's just take the lesson from that is that, if you have that boy or girl that's really good in whatever, rather sports, whether it's school, that they're really, really brilliant or whatever, just try and help them be more well-rounded. Okay, that would be my advice. I have taught a lot of great junior golfers, okay? And that's one of the things that I would say is that, let them relax on occasion, okay? Let them actually grow up a little bit. That's the one thing that's the common denominator between a lot of great athletes, a lot of great actors, a lot of great, whatever they're great in their field, is that sometimes you get too far to one side, okay? And you really want to help them be well-rounded individuals, okay? As they're coming up. So that, as a parent, that's the one thing I would say. Hey, let's make sure that they're good in whatever their field they're in, but they're actually at the same time really, really, socially wise, okay? That is what I'm taking out of the first part of the documentary that I saw. There's two parts, okay? I saw the first part and the second part came out, and I just haven't seen that part yet. But the lead up to it, I'm gonna kind of wait, okay? I'm gonna kind of wait to watch that because I can kind of pretty much guess what the second part is. But he's great at what he does, and I get that part. But as a parent, you have to be very, very careful that they're not tilted too far to one side or the other, okay? So, like I said, today I want, just a day of reflection. A lot of people had today off. I know we couldn't go on certain things because of the pandemic, but, you know, sit and just think, you know, just spend some time and just meditate and think about, you know, hey, what's happening right now? There's a lot of things that are kind of up in the air right now. You know, what can you do to change what's in your area, what you can control? Okay? Number one is in your household, okay? So I just really want you guys to think about that and to look at that. Stop talking about it and do it. You know what I'm saying? When we talked about start to get serious about your vision, let's stop just talking about it, okay? Because I promise you this right here. If you start talking about it and putting your feet to action and your hands to action now, a year from now, I promise you what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor. It may not take a year. It could be 3 months from now. It could be 6 months from now, 9 months, a year from now. But I really want you guys to really just think about this, take this day of reflection, and just say, hey, you know what? What can I do to take control of this vision that I have? Okay? Just start to reflect on that, and then write down your ideas and start taking it to action, okay? Taking it to heart. So, listen, love you guys. I'm glad that you were able to join us today. Next week, I have something else that's strong for you as well. Okay, so listen, have a great day today. Spend time with your family and kids. I know we've been indoors all this time. Spend time with your family and kids. Matter of fact, why don't you call somebody up and check up on somebody today, okay, and see how they're doing, okay? So my name is Willie Pewitt, host of Conversations on the Fairway, and we'll see you next week. My name is Willie from the Willie Pewitt Golf Academy. We're located at Gateway Golf Course here in Romulus, Michigan. And did you know that 80% of the golfers never get formal instruction? So what we do at the Golf Academy here, we offer a free assessment of your golf swing, and then we sit down with you and write out a clear plan to meet your goals. We look forward to hearing from you soon.